So this is episode 8 of the dumbest podcast you probably ever listened to.
Yep, that's confirmed.
Yeah, it is confirmed.
Absolutely confirmed.
We probably have like 5 brain cells between the two of us.
Yeah, and Morgan probably has all 5.
I would say I have 4, you have 1.
Oh, thank you. You gave me
welcome.
one.
I'll give you one. I'll give you one.
Yeah, I mean,
That
look
was
at
really
me.
funny. Wow.
I am funny. I have.
Sometimes you're funny.
I know. Thanks.
It's not only me making this podcast funny. Christ. You want to know what's going to make us funnier? Alcohol. Segue. Oh, you just showed it.
It's okay. I did it really fast.
You did, but look at this. Ready? Oh, I didn't even get it. There we go. So, Danielle and I had book club yesterday. We started a book club. Another book club of all 75 that we're already in. But we started another one. And we had book club yesterday, and we met some new friends, and we had a really good day yesterday.
Hopefully they don't leave the book club.
They probably will, honestly.
It's probably my fault.
It will be your fault.
It's because when I get like awkward and nervous, I just don't shut up. So my mouth just goes.
Facts.
Yeah.
If you don't know Danielle IRL, that's 1000% true.
Can't shut up.
Anyway. Oh my God. You know how? I'm sorry. Segue. You know how Steam will tell you like so and so's playing this game?
Yeah.
Have you ever gamed with Mariah's friend Zach?
Yeah. Only like a few times though.
His name, so he's gaming right now. His name is Doris the Ugly Stepsister.
Why is it
just
so
Doris
good?
the Ugly Stepsister?
That's so good. What the heck?
Anyway, so we went to the liquor store together yesterday because it was my turn, but we were heading to book club, so I couldn't make her wait in the car. So I found something that seems to be fitting for like spooky season because we're recording this on October 29th. I don't know when this episode is going to drop, but we're recording it before Halloween. So this is a very Halloweeny, if you will, drink. It is a strawberry margarita, but it's is that Katrina?
La Katrina.
And look at the thing on it.
Yeah, they
They're
got
so
spooky.
spooky.
Oh yeah.
And it's a wine cocktail. It's 13%. I didn't see that when we bought it.
Oh, whoopsie.
To get toasted on a fucking Sunday.
Getting twisted, baby.
And it's 100% blue agave, which I'm pretty sure is tequila. This is gonna be fun. Mine's refrigerated though. Mine's refrigerated today, so it's not gonna taste like fucking shit.
Oh God, here we go.
I'm scared.
Here's the part
Ready?
where ASMR. Oh, that was a good pop.
So bad. I think you should taste it first.
What did we buy? Oh, it's not bad. Holy shit.
Okay, hold on.
Smell it. It smells like a dirty butthole.
Oh God. No, it smells
That's
like,
strong as fuck, though.
No, it smells like wine. There's got some wine in there.
Yeah,
It does smell like wine.
It's like the grapey. Yeah.
Oh God.
I like
I
it.
don't
It's
know if
not
I
that bad. I was
I don't know if I like
expecting
it.
straight tequila shot when I took a drink because I was like,
I would be throwing up. I can already feel my like insides being warm though, so that's not a good sign.
it's not that bad. I actually really like it, but I also am like, I like tequila and I like wine, so.
You like tequila?
Yeah, I do like tequila. Like,
Psycho.
not just
You're
straight up
psychopath.
tequila, like a tequila mixed drink.
No.
I like it. I will be drinking that later. I'm not drinking it right now. Oh, Morgan almost vomed.
Tequila and I don't get along. Let me just say that. You can taste the alcohol. If
Yeah.
you don't like drinks that you could taste the alcohol, you can taste it. I
Yeah,
have
you
this
don't
like
want it.
stank face permanently on my face right now.
She's like,
Oh, Jesus.
yeah, it's definitely alcohol forward. It's
Sure,
it's not a
fucking
fun.
booty cheek forward.
It smells
not
like
fun.
it smells
smell like wine.
So it's good though. I like it, but I mean, I think if it was something like a liquor that you liked, I think it would be better. But you don't like
My
tequila.
face is stuck like this.
Yeah, yeah. So Morgan's giving this like a 0.
Growing on me. I feel like fix my face. I feel like my face is like permanently stuck. Like
the joys of watching on YouTube, you get to see our actual faces. It's good times. Good times.
strawberry margarita wine cocktail made with 100% blue agave, 100% cane sugar, lime juice, colored with elderberry extract and natural flavors.
It does smell like grapes after that, but holy.
It tastes more like wine now that I like get past the initial shit taste.
Also, this isn't Halloween, it's Day of the Dead. It says it right on the back.
Well, yes, but for like the skull part of it, you know?
Yeah, yeah.
I know you're right though. Where does it say that? Oh, literally right there. The Day of the Dead celebration reflects on memories and reminds us all to embrace life now. There's your thing for the day. Embrace life now with tequila.
Oh. It's our embrace life now. This is
That's our motto.
It's our
I need to stop.
Yeah.
I'm gonna be hammered.
Yeah,
I am a lightweight.
I'll save this for later.
I'm warm right now.
Good.
Oh my God.
Listen, I don't know how I'm not dead from yesterday because I had hella caffeine.
You had 2 drinks of caffeine.
Yeah,
and
I
a
know,
cookie.
but I've been like not drinking caffeine because of my issues.
Your itches.
My issues. Anyway,
Bless you.
would not recommend.
I'm gonna give this a 4 or a 5, maybe.
Wait, out of 10?
Yeah.
Yeah, I would say
not out of 5.
I would say 4 as well. We've definitely had way better ones.
We have had way better, but I feel like if you're looking for like a wine, if you like wine, you
It's
probably like this. Oh, God,
Yeah,
it doesn't get any better.
Yeah, if you like wine, definitely give it a shot. It's I like wine a lot, so it's good, but it's like I'm like comparing it to my man Snoop.
Strong.
So
No one's gonna ever beat him.
no one will beat the dog.
The dog.
The dog. But anyway, 4 out of 5. I mean, like,
Ugh.
not trying to drag this, but if you want to give it a shot, go for it.
Mhm. I have 2 that I'm not gonna drink. Or no, did I give you 2?
You
I
gave
gave
me 2, yeah.
So I have 1.
I'll drink it at
Woo!
Friendsgiving.
Oh Jesus, you're gonna be dead on Friendsgiving. Anyway,
That was our
What a fun
alcohol.
that was our wonderful alcohol this month, courtesy of me getting the shitty ones all the time.
We already have a plan for December, November.
That's gonna be interesting. I'm probably yeah, never mind. Anyway, one of these days, this podcast is podcast is gonna just turn into us just trying straight shots.
I hope not.
We're gonna have to get our tolerances up. We're gonna become alcoholics.
My
Not good.
I would rather go into beer before we do just straight up shots.
I don't think I would want to do that. I think I would rather take a fucking shot.
We need to start trying like fun seasonal foods instead.
Oh my God. Season 3 idea. We could have a snack pairing with the
Yeah.
alcohol.
Ooh, that's a good idea. Write it down.
I don't have anything to write on, so
Okay, keep it in your brain cells.
it's not gonna stay there. Remember, I only have 4.
Yeah. Yeah,
I'm
and then
going
at
to-
that point we could do like drinks that we actually like, and then we could be like, this would be a good pairing with this.
What if we
Or we could do
listen.
no, we could pick a specific alcohol and pair it with a book.
I'm sorry, alcohol and pair it with a book?
Yeah.
Ooh, but what if we don't know what the alcohol is going to taste like? So what if it's a great book and a shitty alcohol?
Yeah, that's true.
I was going to say because the idea of like snacks, what if we tried to do like cheeses?
Oh, say less. It's
Right.
cheese and reviewed now.
It's not boozed and reviewed, it's cheesed and reviewed.
We're now going into cheeses for season 3. My butthole is gonna
Oh my god. Oh, I was going to the boozed and reviewed Google Drive to episode ideas.
Oh baby.
Oh, this is from last year.
Also, welcome back to Booze and Reviewed. I don't even know if we even said that, but that's okay. We've been here long enough.
We have been here long enough. Welcome back to the
That tasted like wine.
Wonderful. What did we say? Oh, snack
Snack
and
and booze pairing.
alcohol pairing. I have to sneeze.
Bless you. No, you don't. Dang, you got it.
I muted so you didn't have to. I literally just screamed. I'm very sneezy today.
So
Yeah, you tell them what we're doing.
we didn't read a book this month, whatever. It's fine. So we're coming at you with our recap, I guess, of what we've been reading lately. And we realized we haven't done a recap in a while. So I've read about 800 books.
And I've read about 4.
So we're not gonna have you sit through me just speaking it because we know like that. So I'm gonna pick 4 or 5 of the books that I really enjoyed, and I'll talk about them. And so will Morgan. The only 4 she read. Just kidding.
The only 4 I read. Yep. I'm gonna go through and pick a couple. Do you want to start?
Yeah, I can start. I'm gonna just go from like most recent to like whatever.
Yeah, that's what I'm gonna do.
So I just finished Dead Romantics yesterday, and Morgan had witness of me finishing it up, and she knows how much I was enjoying it. This is one of my favorite books I've read all year. It's so good. It's about a ghostwriter for a really popular author, and she goes in and she gets a new editor, and all of a sudden her father dies, so she goes home for his funeral, and when she's like, things are going on at home, and so all of a sudden the doorbell rings and it's a ghost because she can see ghosts, and her editor comes to her as ghost form. So
okay,
yeah, so like it all goes forward with all this stuff, and it's really, really sweet. It's like it's not like a romance I've ever read because I've like you know how I am with paranormal stuff. This was really freaking cute, and I loved it so much. So I don't know. It's funny. It's really unique because sometimes when I read romance, I'm like, I've already read something like this. This is super unique. It's different from anything I've ever read romance wise. It made me laugh. My eyes, I like almost cried a few times, and I don't know. It's got like family. It made me feel super, super happy. So, and I love books like that. So highly recommend. I gave it a 500-star rating.
100-star rating.
So it was really, really good. I loved it.
Catch this being in Danielle's top 5 for their top 5 books of the year.
Yeah, this will definitely be at the top. It was so good.
I'd be bold and say top 3.
Really? Yeah, maybe. I've read a lot of good books, and there's 2 more months of the year.
I'm jealous of you. I feel like I've read such shit books.
Yeah, I don't know how I keep reading good books. I've definitely read poopy ones, so don't get it twisted.
Reading not great ones.
You just gotta find your niche, like what you really, really love, and just stick with it. But then you don't want to get bored.
You're not giving me good advice going into 2024.
I'm sorry. I don't know. This is what I do. So I usually go with, I try not to read a bunch of romances in a row because then it just like I'm like, oh my god, I'm reading the same thing over and over. So I usually do like a romance, and then in between I'll do a few thrillers. Thrillers, I try to like I try to like think about like what they're both about and try to keep them different. Because if they're like academy, like if it's like two at school, I'll be like, okay, I'm getting bored. So like I try to keep them very separate, and then in between all that, I'll do like a contemporary or historical fiction. I try to like keep the genres far apart so that I'm like still interested. I don't know. So
maybe that'll be an idea for me in 2024 because I'm definitely like a mood reader. So I'll just be like, oh, I just finished a thriller. I'm still like that got me out of my slump. So now let me
do
read another thriller. Yeah. And then that's probably what my issue is.
So like with that, like I just like I'm really excited about the thriller that I just read. So I'm gonna do a romance. So I'm like still excited about that thriller I just read.
What thriller did you just read?
I read
Are you gonna talk about it?
No, I read The Christmas Guest by Peter Swanson. It's a it's a his oh my god, it's a Christmas, well, it's holiday. It's a holiday murder mystery. It was really good. I give it a 4. It was really, really good. It's short. It's really short. It's got all the Christmas vibes. It was not what I expected it, and I'm still like the ending came and I'm like, oh. I have to find somebody who's read it because I have a question about it. But I'm like, ooh, it's a good book. Good little novella. But I've read a lot of thrillers. Sorry.
You said no, it's okay. You said it was by Peter Swanson.
The guy who wrote the one airplane book, the airplane where the guy met the girl and then he planned to murder his wife and they did it together.
Oh, The Kind Worth Killing.
Yeah. Yes, ma'am. So yeah.
Sorry, I was just dealing with my groceries.
Oh, you're fine.
Which one should I talk about? I just said that I haven't read a lot of good books this year, and I have like between 3 to 5 stars for the next couple. I'm gonna pair these two together.
Okay.
And talk about Finlay Donovan Jumps the Gun.
Yeah, Finlay!
And Finlay Donovan Rolls the Dice, which I know you haven't read yet, so I'm not gonna, because it's an ARC, I'm not gonna give spoilers or anything.
Yeah, I need to read that. It'll be like a December book for me because I want to be ahead of the game.
For Finlay Donovan Jumps the Gun, that one was my favorite one of the series so far.
Me too.
It was different. She finally went out of, because that's 3, right?
Yeah, this is number 3.
She finally went out of the like neighborhood and characters that she's used to writing about, interacting with, and this one was actually at it was like a training academy. It was like a civilian training academy. So Finlay and Vero go and they try to like do the academy things, but also the older neighbor goes too, and like other people are there, and then her romance with Nick and everything. Like I really loved that one so much. I gave it a 4.
Me too.
And then Finlay Donovan Rolls the Dice was very similar in the way of it got out of
like their hometown. Yeah.
Yes. They go to Vegas, and I'm not going to say why. But they're in Vegas and they're dealing with a lot of stuff in like casinos and sketchy motel rooms.
Oh,
all the
so
things.
Excited.
I think I gave this one a 3.5. Just because her books have always been between like 3s and 4s for me. I've never read one of her books and thought it was a 5-star, but I just enjoy jumping back into that world. So that one was a 3.5. And that one was an ARC that I got on NetGalley. And I don't know when the 5th one comes out.
Vero's short story comes out next month.
Ooh.
Yeah. Okay. I already pre-ordered it. It's like $1.
Oh, she doesn't have a title for the 5th one.
5th one, yeah.
There's gotta be a 5th one.
Yeah, oh yeah. Yeah. I think she's talking about, I think she signed a 3-book deal. So like that includes this one, the 5th one, and 6th one, I think. So
okay.
So yeah.
But those two, I highly recommend this series. If you like cozy mysteries, Danielle got me into this series, and I don't own any of the books, but I've gotten them. I think I've read them on like a Kindle, or
Mhm.
I listened to the third one, and the narrator did a really good job at like the different voices and everything. But
They're very cozy. I love them.
yes, they are very cozy. They are a little romance, but it wasn't too much for me, and that's me saying that. So
They're really good. I love Finley and Vero. They're my favorite friend duo. They're the bomb.
they're pretty good.
Yeah. Love them. I cannot wait to read the next one. All right.
What you got?
Okay, so I read Divine Rivals.
Mm. No spoilers, because I kind of want to read that one.
Oh yeah,
You just have to find it.
but everybody knows what it looks like. Okay, so it's so good. I don't know like how to describe it, but like it just is it's like historical fiction fantasy. So there's this girl and this guy, and they both work for like a newspaper, and the girl gets fired for some reason. No spoiler. It literally happens really first two chapters. And she goes to like a war zone, and she ends up reporting from the war zone, and all these things happen, and she ends up getting a pen pal because she's missing her brother who's on the war lines. And she gets a pen pal who helps her like with missing her brother and like her feelings and stuff. And like there's also like a war going on, so like with fantasy creatures. So like it's really good. It's hard to describe, but it's so good, and like it's just really easy to read. I love the characters. The whole pen pal thing is really fun. Yeah, no spoilers, but it's so good. I loved it a lot. In the beginning, people have been saying the beginning's a little slow, but I just loved it the whole way through. I just really enjoyed the whole thing. And the sequel comes out in December, which I'm super, super hyped about. Yeah. So
Every time I go to the book, sorry, no,
ahead.
you go first.
I'm done.
Nope.
I don't know what I was going to say. I truly
I'm
don't.
sorry.
I really don't know what I was going to say.
Every time I go to the bookstore, I always kind of like end up in the fantasy section because I'm really trying, guys. I am trying.
She's dipping her toes in.
I am. I currently am reading The Fragile Threads of Power by V.E. Schwab. So I am trying.
She's full sending it.
I know. I didn't really give myself any type of... I thought that was going to be like a toe dipper because the synopsis sounded really, really good.
Yeah.
And I'm also... I'm
like,
laughing because I can see Mike doing yoga in the background.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
But Divine Rivals is one that I know that you have, and I've been trying. I can't. I'm sorry. I can't because I just see but I don't want to buy it because I know that you have it. So I'm going to borrow it from you eventually.
Borrow it anytime as long as my tabs don't bother you.
Oh shit.
I can take them out because I've already written the review.
But I am trying, guys. And that's one. That one and I can't think of any other ones. But
a court of mystery.
I have A Court of Thorn and Roses somewhere. Right over there. You can't see it. It's right here.
Yeah.
I was gifted that. So I'm going to buddy read that in December with Erica. Anyway, but that was, I don't know why. I don't know where I was going with that. I'm sorry.
Oh no, we're really excited that Morgan's stepping into the fantasy realm.
I want to so bad.
They're so fun. You just got to find the right ones. Because there are some that I'm like, I read and I'm like, that does not sound great.
Yeah, when I go to Barnes & Noble, we went when we were in Connecticut, we went to Barnes & Noble and I was perusing and they had a fantasy section. Like they had not like the normal Barnes & Noble, they had them on tables.
Oh.
And they had like popular fantasy, I was even looking at the romances, Danielle. And I was too scared. I picked up some and I looked them up on Goodreads and I was like, but what if I hate it and I just waste all my money and then I put it back?
That's why you go to the library.
I know, but I'm impatient.
Yeah, that's fair. That's fair. Dude, that's when you go into the library and look at the fantasies there and be like, oh,
Mhm.
okay.
I could do that. You're right.
So
You're
I
right.
have found that going to the actual library, you get the book faster because like Midnight is the Darkest Hour came out and it was available at my library, like the physical copy. So I went and got
Mhm.
it. So just keep your eye out
Yeah, I have
because
to look.
for some reason the new physical copies are always available at my library. Who
I'm
knows?
gonna go to your library then.
Yeah, right. Get a
Yeah.
library card at my library. Yeah, so you definitely should try Divine Rivals. It's really, really good. I loved it.
I do
It's
want
like
to.
it's got a little historical fiction flair to it, so I think
Mhm.
that you would like that.
Hmm.
So, yeah.
I will try. My second book technically third book that I read was Yellow Face by R.F. Kuang.
No
Is that how you
spoilers.
say
I
it?
want to read that, which I'm going to
Okay.
borrow your copy, I think.
Oh, yes, I do still have it. I didn't know if that was one that I gave away because it's a book that was really good, but I didn't know if I would read it again. I gave this one, I think, a 4. Goodreads says I gave it a 4, but I don't know if that's a 4.5 or 3.5.
Yeah.
Anyway. It was such a good book. So let me just go to the synopsis. It's about this girl who one of her friends is like a best-selling author, and she is trying to write her own book, and she's just not like able to write as good as her friend is. Like that's just what it ends up being. Her friend ends up dying,
Oh.
and she's in the middle of writing her next book. So she's with this girl when she dies, and she happens to see all of her notes and all of her stuff for the book and takes it, finishes it, and then publishes it under her name. And she hits it big, and everybody's coming at her to be like, this is cultural. Like,
Yeah.
they don't know that she didn't write it. And again, I'm not going to give any spoilers, but people get on to her and they're like, could she write this? Like, this feels like it's this person, not her. Because I'm pretty sure she's a white woman, and then her friend that dies is an Asian woman.
Mm-hmm.
So the stuff that she writes about is like, I think the one book that she was writing about was about people in China who were being put into camps during a war or
Okay.
something like that.
Mhm.
Like about like hardships that people in those communities had, but like a white woman writing about it. Like that's kind of how
Yeah.
the world would kind of view that now. So
Yeah.
it was a very similar thing. No spoilers, but this author did such a good job at not directly making our main character like racist or what's the other word? Not prejudice. What's the other word? I can't think of it. But she did a lot of like things that could be microaggressions towards her friend and towards like people of the Asian descent.
But
And
did she not know she was doing it? Or did she
I don't think
deliberately?
she realized it,
Okay.
but it was still like you should know better
Yeah.
kind of thing.
Yeah.
And I can't remember offhand. Let me look at my
Is it like similar thing to like in MAME? Right? Like stuff like that.
yes. So it
Yeah.
says right here, um, her friend was writing about Chinese history, specifically surrounding World War One.
Got it.
And people were saying she's a white woman. She shouldn't be writing about Asian history. She should let somebody else write that book, which somebody else was writing that book, but nobody knew that. And there's something that happens, and it just kind of fell a little flat for me in that middle. But she did a really good job making our main character so unlikable, like so fucking unlikable, because she would just kind of be like, well, the book needed to get out into the world, so like I'm helping her get it out into the world. Somebody needs to read it. Yeah, it's just like she wasn't realizing that all of
Yeah.
that shit was bad.
Yeah, I do want to read that really badly. I read Babel this year by same author.
And I didn't realize that she wrote that book.
Yeah, same author. It's like literary fantasy. It's pretty good. It's very thick, but it was good. I enjoyed it. I buddy read it, buddy read it with Annie and Mike's mom. It was good. But it's thick. So, but different vibes, whole different vibes from Yellowface, which is interesting. That's why I want to read it and see if I would enjoy this better. And she also wrote Poppy War, which is full fantasy.
Yes,
So,
that's what Allie was saying yesterday.
Yeah.
It was just, I think I ended up being, because my review is long. I hit it obviously because I have spoilers in it. But at the bottom I say, as I'm writing this review, I'm starting to wonder if it should have been a 5-star read.
Yeah, I mean, I've done that before where I've gone back and been like, this is more of a 4. Or like, I really think about this book a lot. I'm going to give it 5.
It was just so good. And I really enjoyed it. And it was like popping up everywhere on Book Instagram. So that's why I picked it up. I actually got it at our last book club meeting. Not the one
yeah.
the one
I remember
before.
you. Yeah, I remember you getting that. Yeah, I really want to read that so bad. Maybe that'll be one of my December reads.
What else you got?
Okay. This is like the weirdest book I've read all year, but it's so good. So
interesting. Okay.
It's so weird. We read this for my book club. One of my book clubs I'm in. It's called Shark Heart.
Oh, yeah.
It's so fucking weird, but it's so good because basically it's a woman and a man, and her husband gets diagnosed with this weird disease and he turns into a great white shark. But there's also like the diagnosis is basically throughout the book you find out it's mimicking living life with somebody who has a terminal disease like cancer.
Okay.
Or like somebody who has, there's other characters in this book that are related to the couple that end up like turning into like creatures as well. Like there's a woman who's pregnant with birds and it's like mimicking like having a pregnancy and dying from pregnancy and stuff like that. And like there's her mother ends up turning into a lizard and it's mimicking having Alzheimer's and dealing with a person who has Alzheimer's. So, and she picks these specific creatures based off this is how I interpreted it in our book club. She picks the characters based off like the specific illness that she wants to like relate based off how the character and like what the characters are in. I loved it. It was so good. And there's like the way it's written is so beautiful. And like it really puts it really opens your eyes to people who like what somebody who is a family member who's dealing with somebody who has terminal illness. It's not the person who is through the eyes of somebody who has terminal illness. So it's interesting because you get the before, the middle, and the after. So it's so beautiful. And then like certain chapters are poems. So and it's like some of them are like screenwritten, like dialogue. It's really cool. And it's a really weird book, but the whole message is so beautiful and the book is just so good. The audio was really fun too. So if you can get past the weirdness of people turning into animals and like understanding what the real message is, it's such a good book. Oh, it's so freaking good.
Was it like a blatant, like did you have to figure out that the creatures were mimicking that, or was it?
No, it's pretty easy to figure out in my opinion. Like I literally was like, oh, okay. This is something like these people turning into animals is definitely meaning something. And then once you find like you meet the other people who turn into animals, it kind of becomes more obvious what it really is. So, it's really good. It's an interesting read. If you're looking for something to get outside of anything that you've ever really read, Shark Heart is definitely something to check out because it's super, super random. Like reading the synopsis, you're like, what in the actual fuck is this?
Wasn't it a book of the month book?
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. It's super good. Highly, highly recommend. So I can tell you right now, would have never picked this in a million years if it wasn't for my book club. Never. But it's
funny how that works.
So fucking good. Yeah. So good.
What's the next book I'm gonna talk about? Oh, I know. This is another NetGalley book. I've been on top of my NetGalley books and my NetGalley reviews.
High five.
I find out what my percentage is. Thanks.
Proud of you.
But this book was just a random one that I wasn't going on there and being like, oh, I hope this book's on here. Like,
Yeah.
I'll just go through and read the synopsis and see. Oh, I wanted to look at my percentage just to brag a little bit. 72.
Good for you.
72.
Mine's at
Yay.
50.
Okay. I mean, mine before that was at like 40. So that's why I was like,
really
I need
good
to
though.
read
Good for you.
my stuff.
Yeah, I'm gonna just quit NetGalley. I said that last year, but I'm not going to.
You did. That's never gonna happen. And this book is Where Sleeping Girls Lie. I am not gonna try and pronounce this author's name because I will butcher it. But it has a picture of a girl on the cover, and there's like a bird where her one of her eyes should be, and then it looks like it's kind of like melting. It reminded me a lot of Lexi's book, minus the like fantasy element. So it was at like a boarding school, and she goes to this boarding school and she's trying to like make her way around, but she's also mourning the loss of her sister because her sister passed away. And some drama happens. It's just like it was a very YA book, but there were triggers for sexual assault. And I think that was like the main trigger, honestly. And drowning, if that's a trigger that anybody has, but definitely the sexual assault part. And there were like puzzles along the way because she moved in with this new girl, and she made friends with her and friends with her roommate's friend. And her roommate's friend reminded me of, oh my God, what's his name?
I know exactly what you're talking about.
In her book, the one that I don't want her to kill off. Yeah, exactly like him. So quirky, so funny. He was my favorite character. But as she moved in with her new roommate, her roommate just randomly disappears.
Oh.
And nobody is looking for her. Nobody is like worried about her, nothing.
Oh.
So she's like, this is weird. And her friend is like, this is weird too. This is out of the ordinary, whatever. So she makes it a point to try and figure out what happened to her roommate. Along the lines, also finding out more and more about her sister's death, because her sister also went to this school or like was affiliated with this school or something like that. So she like came to the school wanting to be closer to her sister, and then I really loved this book. I was very much in. Oh yes, yep.
It sounds like a little bit like inheritance games too.
What, the synopsis?
No, just from what you're describing, like the person goes
okay.
missing and there's puzzles.
Yeah, like she had to just, I don't want to say puzzles, like, because inheritance games had puzzles.
Mm-hmm.
The puzzles that she had, like it was more like trying to figure out what happened, and then like she would have to put 2 and 2 together.
Oh, I see.
I guess I shouldn't have said puzzles. But there was one part of it that I didn't like, and I'm not going to say any spoilers because it's not even out yet. It comes out in March of 2024.
Oh, jeez, you're on top of your game.
I know. I'm on top of it. The only thing I didn't like was we have this main plot story, and then along the way we get this like other plot. And then for the rest of the book, it just kind of takes hold of the book. We do get closure in this plot. It all comes together at the end.
Oh, okay.
But it just felt like
it was only going to follow the second path.
It just felt like it kind of took over for the rest of the book, and the other plot was pushed to the side.
Interesting.
But they ended up kind of working together, figuring everything out, whatever. Yeah, okay, trigger warning: sexual assault, drowning, depression, murder. But I really, really liked it. And it was YA, so I don't know who the hell I am.
That's interesting. Yeah, that's super interesting.
But it was like the boarding school thing. Like maybe I just really like YA.
Yeah, you definitely like school things, like things that are school. What did I just read? What did I just read that was in a school? Oh, in my dreams I hold a knife. That's in a school.
a school or boarding school?
School. It's
Oh,
like a
okay.
college.
Oh, but still, okay. Like on
Yeah.
a campus.
It's Ashley Winstead, so.
Yeah. Yep.
Wasn't my favorite one though, so. But I mean, whatever.
I know what your favorite one is. It's
Yeah,
fine.
I love that book. It freaked me up. But anyway, we don't need to talk about Ashley Winstead.
Tell me your next book.
All right, this will be my last one because
We could do. How many more do you have? Because I definitely have one more.
I could do 2
and-
more.
Okay, let's do 2 more.
Okay. Well, I'm gonna do. Okay, this one. Okay, so this one's a fun one.
Okay.
I saw a lot of people raving about it. It's a romance again. It's called The Blonde Identity, and basically, it's this girl. First chapter. She wakes up and she hears gunshots and big jeeps, and she like wakes up from like amnesia, and she's like, "What is happening?" So this handsome guy runs up to her. It's a
Oh my
freaking romance to a T, but it's so fun. She wakes up and this handsome guy's like, "Wake up!" And so she wakes up and they end up escaping this like bad situation that they're in. And she ends up finding out that she doesn't remember her name. She doesn't remember who she is, why she's where she is. So her and this man end up teaming up to try to figure out why she's where she is and whatever. And she ends up figuring out that he's a spy. And so she ends up throughout the book, she ends up finding out more things about herself and why she's with this spy man and how he knows her and all this stuff. And it's a super fun thing because you've got the spies and they're like international and they're like trying to fight this like mafia man, and it's pretty small, and it's a romance, so it's wicked fun. It was just this fun light read. It's a cozy thing, you know. So I loved it a lot.
You give it?
I read it in like, what'd I give it?
Yeah,
I gave it a 5. So it was really good. It's got a little spice in it, but
it's a
just a little
romance.
bit.
They usually do. Yeah.
So I thought it was really delightful, and we got it from Book Club Girl, the book club thing that we're in. So.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So we could probably enter our real life book club into Book Club Girl and get a fuckload of free books.
Interesting. We'll talk more about that.
Yeah. We'll figure out how we signed up for it, and I can put our stuff in it because I think they like real life book clubs more than they do online book clubs.
Virtual. Yeah.
So,
Interesting.
yeah.
I'm down for free books.
So yeah, but it also gives us like we can get the books and then we don't have to worry about picking a book. So
It just is picked for us.
Yeah. So Blonde Identity, really good. I'm hoping there's more. She writes more. She does have a bunch of other things that she's written that are similar. So I might have to check out another one by her. Allie Carter.
Interesting.
Yeah. Good stuff.
Good stuff. This is one of the only 5s that I've read recently.
Ooh. Do I know what it is?
I've talked about it, but I don't know if you'd be able to like pick it out right now. It was a memoir.
Oh. Yes.
Yeah. It was on Book of the Month. That's how I found it.
Oh, right. Yeah.
It is The Many Lives of Mama Love, a memoir of lying, stealing, writing, and healing. So, it sounded really good because it was like, I mean, I don't even remember what the synopsis was, but I got it off Book of the Month and I was like, you know what? I'm going to give this a shot. I felt so many feelings while reading this book. And obviously it's a memoir, so it's a true story. Laura Love ends up in a situation with her, I think it's her boyfriend, and then they have 2 kids. I don't think it was her husband. Anyway, her partner. And they have 2 kids, 1 kid, 3 kids. They have kids. And they're into drugs. They're into hard drugs. And one day their house gets raided by the police. And they get her for drugs. She gets charged. He gets charged. And her kids get put into like the foster care system. She ends up, long story short, she ends up going to jail. And she served, I want to say, a year in local jail. And during that, she's dealing with a lot of issues of like staying clean. There's drugs in jail. She has a lot of like up and down before she's like sentenced to the jail time. She ends up getting bailed out by her partner's mom, I think it was. And it was a really like, this is going to be like a trigger warning for some people about drugs, but he gets her into the car and she's been clean for like a month or two. He gets her into the car and he's like, I got some stuff for us. And she like sits there, she's in the passenger seat, and he just shoves a needle into her arm
Whoa.
and gets her hooked on heroin after she had just gotten clean from, I think it was like crack or cocaine. So then she's back using and whatever. After she gets out, she now is dealing with trying to get her kids back, trying to get a job after she just served a year in jail. And she had a lot of like other bumps, but she ends up meeting such a great guy who hires her, and she ends up like ghostwriting for people.
Ooh, cool.
And she ends up ghostwriting for, I think one of the people was like the Dalai Lama. She ends up going and meeting Oprah. She ends up ghostwriting for a man who was wrongfully convicted and he was getting released. So her and him talked about like life in prison, and like they bonded, and like she was like, this is the only person that really understands what it's like on the inside and then getting out. And then she starts working at an agency for like rehabilitating people who have been incarcerated back into the community and trying to make resources for people. And it was just so good. And I wanted to just hug her. Like, she just had so much. I'm going to cry. She had like a moment where after she got out, I literally just started crying because I was like, yes, she's finally out. She's getting back into the community. And she also has a TED Talk.
Oh, cool.
She did a TED Talk, and I put that in my review. And if anybody is ever interested in like wanting to read it, but they want to like listen to her TED Talk first, it kind of covers everything that is in the book. And it was just so freaking good. You know, books that make me cry
You love it.
always
You love to
end
see
up
it.
being a 5.
Yeah.
But it just was so good. It was a memoir. You could probably look up about like her life and stuff like that. But I would highly recommend watching the TED Talk. It's only like 10 minutes.
Nice.
It was so good. Anyway, that's my TED Talk.
Okay, my last one is the new Lisa Jewell.
No spoilers.
Yeah. All I'm gonna say is this shit is good and you should just read it. That's
Okay.
all I'm gonna say. Honestly, and the audio is really good. There's a podcast on Spotify that goes along with the book.
I saw that.
I recommend listening to it too. It just enhances the book. So good. My faith is restored in this woman. I read her one book and I did not like it, but this
I've read
shit,
a couple of hers and
banana pancakes.
interesting.
Yeah.
It's on my
Highly,
shelf. I have to read it, but I
It's
just started.
good.
I started like the first chapter, and at that time it just wasn't hitting for me. I wasn't into like a thriller book at the time.
Yeah. It's good.
Haven't gone back since.
Good stuff.
Do you want to say anything about the book?
Nope. I don't want to spoil anything.
Okay. All right. Go read that book.
Go read this book. And do the audio if you can.
I wonder. I have an Audible credit. I wonder if I can get it on Audible, since the other fucking book that I got on there sucks.
I hate that. So yeah, those are like you should read those. We've last talked about our recap. I've read a lot of shit, but those are the ones that I read.
I think the last one that I'm gonna talk about is, I gotta throw Kristen Hanna in there, right?
Of course.
It wouldn't be me without talking about Kristen Hanna. I read Fly Away, which is the sequel to Firefly Lane.
Mhm.
And I think we talked about Firefly Lane on here. It was really good. She writes really good generational stories. If you've been listening to the podcast, you know I literally will read anything that woman writes. I have a Kristen Hanna section on the shelf. Where is it? Down here. It's on this side. Over here. Right here. But it's a sequel, so spoiler alert for Firefly Lane. Kate dies at the end of the book, and we're seeing kind of everybody move on and grieve from that. And I know you haven't read it yet, right? So I'm not going to give any spoilers. But what I'm gonna say is all the shitty people that were in book 1 get an arc in book 2.
Ooh, okay.
Tully gets an arc. Cloud gets an arc.
Wow.
Her
Okay.
daughter, I can't remember her daughter's name. Mara, I think.
Oh yeah, I really hated the daughter.
She gets an arc.
That's good. That makes me want to read it though.
I wanted to get back into it, and I wanted to read another Kristen Hanna. I don't think it made me cry. Now that I'm trying to think back, it didn't make me cry. It was more like, I will say it's a book that I don't think was needed, but she did it anyway, which it's not a bad thing. I gave it a 4. There is some trigger warnings. So there is drug triggers, there is self-harm triggers, there's suicidal ideation triggers, those type of things, depression. Mara's dating like a controlling boyfriend. It doesn't escalate to like domestic violence, so to speak, but it wasn't a great relationship, so that could be sort of kind of a trigger for people. But it's also her husband, Kate's husband, trying to just be there for his kids, but also grieve for losing his wife.
Gotcha.
And it's difficult for him to do both. And Tully, it's really interesting. We see from Kate's husband's point of view how he's seeing like Tully's being a bitch and doing things she's not supposed to do.
But yeah, because we didn't get his POV in Firefly Lane.
Mm-hmm. But then we get Tully's point of view of the same exact situation, and we get inside her head and see that what she's trying to do, she's trying to help, but she's going about it the wrong way. And he's overreacting because he's pissed at Tully for a bunch of things.
Yeah.
And we just get to see both of their points of view. So that way, the entire time we were just seeing Tully from a certain perspective and seeing her as like this person who doesn't give a shit and all the things. But now we see her and she's trying to be there and be a person for their family and be supportive. And they're not seeing it that way.
Got it.
It was really good. And then, Cloud comes in and we actually, there is also sexual abuse.
Of course.
Triggers, which was in the first book, but it's something different. It's not like it reflects back on that from the first book. It's something different.
Sorry, I yawned. I'm not bored. I was just getting oxygen to my brain.
It's fine. It's fine. But yeah, I will read anything Kristen Hanna writes. I already pre-ordered her book coming out in February, I think, right?
Is it February?
March. I think it's February.
I commented on somebody's picture the other day. This is super random, but they posted about a Kristen Hanna book, and I was like, oh, I really want to read this, but I have to take like a 6-month break between books. And she commented back and said, Kristen Hanna commented it back and said, better prepare because I got a new one coming out soon. I was like, she just fucking said that.
You got to prepare. We got to read. I'm going to read that.
I'm going to read it for sure. For sure.
That could be a podcast book.
Oh, down.
I'm so excited.
Mark it down. What is?
I don't know.
February 6th. So what'll be
the event? Yeah, the event is in February. But I will read anything that woman writes, and you better believe if I get an ARC copy of it,
she's reading it immediately.
That's going to be my personality. Fair warning. Remember how I was when I got the ARC of Riley Sager's?
Yeah.
Personality.
This is why Morgan's going ham on NetGalley right now.
That's the only reason why.
Morgan, just email the publisher.
No,
just be like, hello, my name is Morgan, and I would like this book. And here are my 20 reviews that I've already read from Kristen Hanna, and bet I will read this immediately as you give it to me.
You'll have to coach me through that offline.
Okay.
So I can do that because I'll
email
do it.
them. If you like, it's not going to take your birthday away. If they don't answer, they just don't answer.
Every time you say that, and I know you say that because your mom said that to you, but every time you say that, I always think of your mom. I'm not gonna take your birthday away.
It's not.
My birthday already happened anyway, so
you'll only feel hurt for like 5 seconds.
Okay. After this, I'll do it. I'll do it.
Okay. I'll help you.
I'll do it. Okay. I'm pulling it up right now. Anyway. But yeah, I gave that a 4-star. I would highly recommend that series anyway. It is on, what is it, on Netflix?
Yeah, it's on Netflix.
I started watching it, and I will say it's not what I expected, and Tully pissed me off, so I stopped watching it naturally.
The casting's questionable in my brain cells.
I think they did Kate fine. I don't know about Johnny. Oh, that's his name, Johnny. Sorry, I thought I saw a spider. I just don't know how I feel about Katherine Heigl.
That's who I'm talking about. I feel like she plays Tully, yeah.
Yeah, she plays Tully.
Yeah,
but
I wouldn't
also,
have
if we don't
casted
know
her.
if we don't know how we feel about her, is that kind of a perfect casting for Tully? Devil's advocate, just saying.
I guess. She's supposed to be like drop dead. I mean, Katherine Heigl's beautiful, right? But like, she's supposed to be like this, like drop dead gorgeous stunner.
Well, they do that. She plays older Tully. They have somebody different for younger Tully.
Okay.
Yeah, because you see them growing up.
Gotcha.
Too. And Tully growing up, I think she's got like dark hair.
Interesting.
I would say she's pretty. She definitely gives me like the vibes of like the popular girl.
Got it. Interesting. Yeah, it's about time. It's about time for me to read another Kristen Hanna. I had my break.
It's St. Martin's Press, by the way.
Okay. Yeah, they're pretty nice.
Oh my god, if I get it, I owe my life to you.
You just gotta shoot your shot. I only email publishers when I really, really, really want something, and it's usually to Tor for Tor books for a TJ Klune, and we've got a pretty good relationship going on. So
then you email them and ask for it. And if I don't get it, you email them and ask for it.
No.
Please?
No.
Why?
I already put in a request for the physical arc anyway, because they send like, there's like an influencer program that they send out big emails, and you can sign up for specific arcs. And I put mine in for the women, but I don't think I'll get it because I only have so many followers or whatever. Because that's a big book, and bigger people will get that first.
Still gonna ask for it.
I will help you write your email.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Lordy hit pancakes. This is your moment. If you want a book, go out, email the publisher, and show them you want it because you deserve it. Right, Morgan?
Yeah, right.
Yeah, go out and do it. Motivation.
I'm scared. Anyway, those are the books that we've read some other books in between that just didn't live up to the hype. And if you want to know what we've read, ask us, because I'll tell you.
Yeah, I'll tell you all about the shit I read. Yee.
Yeah, but that's how we're feeling. What do we get? 5 books? 4 books? 6 books? I don't know.
4 or 5.
Know.
Whatever. Yeah. We talked.
But yeah.
Also, look at my cool slippers that Lucy bought me.
They have ghosts on them. Oh my god, you're gonna fall out of your chair.
Yeah, Lucy bought me slippers.
Lucy's great.
Yeah, she was my sweetest secret Halloween book exchange, and she was my secret person. She got me slippies.
She got me slippies.
She got me slippies.
Jesus Christ.
They're my favorite things. Is there anything you're super excited about coming up this month?
Emailing the fucking publishers now.
Oh my god.
But
Friendsgiving?
Friendsgiving, yes. We have annual Friendsgiving coming up. Danielle's making fucking potatoes.
I'm bringing just potatoes. Just fucking full ass potatoes.
Yep. But we get together, have some friends, come over and just hang out for a Thanksgiving, but Friendsgiving. And that's in like 2 or 3 weeks, I think.
I'm excited.
I don't know what else is happening in November, honestly. I mean, I love Thanksgiving. That's something that I'm excited for, but I don't know what we're doing for Thanksgiving.
Pause. Can we talk about, we're going to slam Allie right now. Fucking Allie, while we're in freaking Barnes & Noble, just goes, yeah, Thanksgiving's an overrated holiday. And I about looked at her. I was like,
You want to know what she also told us in Barnes & Noble? She told us that she has the e-arc for the women.
Oh, yeah. She's pretty...
I'm going to fist fight her. Joke's on her. I invited her to Friendsgiving just so I can corner her and just be like, give me it.
Bring your Kindle, see what happens.
Yeah, bring your
bitch.
Kindle, see what happens. That's your entrance to the fucking
That's your
Friendsgiving.
entrance.
I don't want you to bring a side. Bring your Kindle.
And I'll see you at the end of the party.
Oh my god, could you imagine? I wouldn't be able to finish a Kristen Hannah that.
No,
I would
they're
have to, like-
usually thickums. How
Oh.
big is it? It's 480 pages.
Oh, well, there you go. That's pretty average, I think. For
Yeah.
her.
That's funny. She's crazy.
Excited.
Thanksgiving's one of the best holidays. If you're a foodie, how can you not enjoy Thanksgiving?
First of all, I love being a host, which fuels Friendsgiving for me because we host it every year. I also just love cooking and I love having all of our friends together and just hanging out. Like, that's just what Thanksgiving and Friendsgiving is for me.
Yeah,
It's
it's
just my
just a
favorite.
good time.
And people like Lauren who put up their fucking tree November 1st.
Oh yeah, let's slander
Come
all
at
our
me.
friends today. Lauren.
God. Lauren's putting up her Christmas tree on November 1st, and I'm going to go over to her house. I'm going to take it down.
I'm driving my ass to
God.
Syracuse and taking it right ass down.
I am. I fucking am. Come at me, Lauren.
Oh boy.
Jesus.
She's so funny.
Josh is one of those people too that likes to put up the tree early, and I have to be like, "Can you?" The day after Thanksgiving is fine.
Yeah, that's when I'll put
The
mine up.
day after, and you can we have ours up for a while. We have ours up until like January, and then Josh wants to take it down, and I'm like, "We can have it up. It's still snowy out. Like I don't
Yeah,
care. It is
same-
pretty."
Same mindset. Same mindset. If it's snowing, we keep the Christmas tree up.
Yeah, it's pretty.
So funny. Yeah. Well,
But yeah,
this has been
boozed.
and reviewed.
Woo! Right in
Yeah.
the fucking eardrums.
Let us know what you've read this month and what you're looking forward to in November.
Mm-hmm.
Woo! We'll talk very soon.
Where can I find you?
At Danny Allreads. DANIALLREADS.
That took
Suck my
all of her
nuts.
one brain cell to do it.
Where can I find you?
Jesus Christ. You can find me at Bookmorgs. BOOKMORGS. Like bookmarks, idiot. Anyway.
This, Jesus Christ.
Oh.
And cue music. I
I think that's what I'm using. Remember when we talked about one brain cell? This is showing your one brain cell right now.
Alrighty, I'm leaving. Goodbye.
Goodbye.